Ticket to Pittsburgh?
I don't remember it. Tell me.
Well, it involves a brief synopsis of the history of transportation, all right?
Yeah.
When the white man first arrived to the North America, right, they had basically what they had in Europe and the rest of the world. They had canoes and dugouts and whatever. They did the waterways. And then they started following game trails, and then they widened them out to wagon trails. And then there was the railroads, and the railroads were a fairly grand event in transportation because they had, well, some of them exist today. Union Station, Chicago, Grand Central Station, they had great edifices, and they're still there. But there was a really, really brief period in transportation where the bus was king. It was about 1920 to about 19, well, they pretty much died out by 1960, but there was a period where they weren't as grand as the railroad stations, but they had, the downtown locations, impressive buildings and whatever. And these were the Greyhound and the Trailways depots. And that's where our story takes place, right?
Okay.
But it's in the deep south, around Atlanta, right? It's the middle of summer, and they didn't have air conditioning at the peak of the bus thing, so they did what, well, you've been to Leslie's house, they had the tall ceilings, and they had the things above the doorway, the opening glass things, to visit and whatever. But try as they could, it was still hot, muggy, miserable fucking day at the bus station. And enters our hero, right? Our protagonist. He wants to buy a bus ticket. And it is hot and miserable, and the line is long, and it is pretty much a crummy experience until he gets close to the ticket cage, where there was a young lady who was nattily dressed, the epitome of feminine pulchritude, especially a young lady, and basically she was a hottie, right? So this whole bus ticket purchasing experience uplifted for the better. So as he gets up to the bus ticket purchasing cage, he gets more, more enlivened, more encouraged by his bus ticket purchasing experience, and it's finally his turn. So she says, "May I help you?" And he says, "Yes, would you please give me a ticket to Pittsburgh?" And she was totally nonplussed, didn't faze her at all. She said, "I think you mean you want a ticket to Pittsburgh." And he said, "Yes." And she sold him a ticket to Pittsburgh. And he felt embarrassed as hell and wanted to get out of there as fast as he could. So he's leaving, beating cheeks out of there, gets on the sidewalk. He's about a half a block away from the bus station. And there's a tap on his shoulder. And he turns around, and there's this guy. Could have been like a big brother or a great uncle or something like that. But obviously somebody that was a friendly man, concerned, and was going to offer him some favorable advice, right? So he listens to the guy. He says, I was right behind you in the line to buy your ticket. And I heard what you said, and I saw how you reacted. And I just wanted to stop you and tell you that you shouldn't worry about it that much, because people all the time mean to say one thing, and it comes out just a little wrong. For example, I was having dinner with the wife the other day, and all I wanted to do was say, "Would you please pass me the creamed peas?" But what came out instead was, "You worthless slut, you've ruined my life."